Hello and welcome. My name is Sibylle Meder. I'm a filmmaker and a big leap coach with the Hendricks Institute. And I welcome you to today's Hendricks How to Be Creative in Tumultuous Times. And this is an exploration that I have used for myself, and it's actually one discovery I have made myself recently and that I want to share with you. It's a little bit like Sibylle's fairy tale stories just before bedtime, because I'm in Athens, Greece, and it's almost bedtime here. But whenever you watch this and whatever time of the day you're joining us, whatever time of the day it is for you, I invite you to try this on and see what it does for you. So the practice is actually it's a practice that I have found incredibly efficient, helpful, simple, and energizing for myself. It's from Gay and Katie's book, Conscious Loving Ever After, and it is called 10-Minute Creativity. And it is almost as simple as the title suggests. It includes getting up in the morning, do whatever you need to do to get yourself started first. Maybe drink a glass of water, go to the bathroom, make yourself your favorite hot beverage, and do some form of movement. I suggest fear melters. If you are not familiar with fear melters, there are Hendricks How-Tos on the fear melters, or another type of movement. Something that's very wonderful is also creative joint play. And in fact, I'm inviting you to do this with me right now. Change something about the movement of your body right now. Just move one joint, like maybe one finger or several fingers, and just try out different new movements as you're listening to me. And once you notice yourself repeating a movement, change the movement and do that for 2 minutes. So after you've primed your body that way with fear melters or with creative joint play or with any other form of favorite movement that is not rigid and not sort of structured very much, but free-flowing, then give yourself the gift of 10 minutes of creativity. And with that, I mean 10 minutes of creative play, something that is basically that you could do as a child, that you would want to do if you were still a child, or maybe you are a child. It's the emphasis is on play here. Give yourself 10 minutes of creativity at the start of your day and make that playful, make that spontaneous. Choose something that, when I started out with that, I basically just had a pen and paper and started doodling. And then I started into free-flowing stream of consciousness writing, but it wasn't supposed to be anything. It was the experience of just putting pen to paper and doing something with it. You can write with your non-dominant hand. You can write with your mouth, put a pen in your mouth and whatever feels playful to you in the moment. And so that, and do that, set yourself a timer and do that for 10 minutes. That is basically the practice. Now, why am I mentioning this now? And why is such a simple and deceptively simple practice? What I've noticed is that especially in times of great turmoil, whether that is the bigger outer world, be it international countries, the planet, anything that seems like an overwhelming threat to our very existence. And my story is that many of us are experiencing that at the moment and repeatedly through our lives. Or whether that is something very personal, something that's happening in our own lives, whether it's a sick relative or partner or our own health or some grief because of a move or a loss of a friendship, of a relationship, of a person, of a beloved animal, anything that creates big turmoil. What I've noticed in my own life is that it has a tendency to make me more rigid, more kind of robotic, and I go into what I call maximum lockdown, basically. It is a mode in which I do things to survive. It's a survival mechanism. And in that state, what I tend to do is I tend to put my creativity at the back burner. it's almost like it's frivolous. We don't have time for this now. And what that results in is that I get even more constricted and more rigid and more sort of non-moving, hence the creative joint play and the fear melting and the moving practices. And I feel a disconnection from my essence, from who I really am. And when I'm not there, when I'm disconnected from myself, I cannot really connect to the world. I cannot really act in the world. It basically has the fear that I feel in those moments, and I invite you to check in with yourself, whether that might be true for you too. The fear that I feel has me disconnected from the world and also from my own agency, from my own being able to choose how I want to be in the world. And as I said in the beginning, I am a filmmaker. I identify as a person who does creative things on a regular basis. You might belong to the category of people who say, I'm not creative. I challenge that. I invite you to question that, because I want to use creativity here in the sense that I've heard Katie Hendricks say many times, create your life as a work of art. That is creativity. Creativity can be making a cake or making a new hairstyle, or how you arrange flowers, or what you plant in your garden, the way you dress. It can be the way you walk through a door. That can be creative. So anything that comes from your essence, comes from deep inside of you, from inside endogenously, outside, from inside to the outside. It's not something that is dictated to you from the outside. Anything like that is a creative expression in my definition. And there are some of us who do creative things on a regular basis. And I notice that that gets more stifled the more I feel at the effect of outer experiences, outer events that shock me, that overwhelm me, that scare me. It feels like, sometimes it feels like I cannot do anything, so I don't do anything. And I don't have the time because I want to give attention to this and to that, and I want to be informed and connected. And I've recently come back to this practice of 10 minutes of creativity every morning. And I can tell you it's wonderful. It has, the beauty of it is, in my opinion, that it's those 10 minutes. Every one of us can carve out 10 minutes of our day. Just make that little amount of time in your day. And I suggest to do it at the beginning of your day, because we wake up from the sleep, we are still in that liminal state of just coming out of bed. And then engaging with what is most playful and most joyful for us in that moment. And that can be doodling, that can be painting. Maybe your form of creative expression is water painting or oil on canvas, or it can be dancing. It can be cooking, it can be making cakes. How many cakes you can make in 10 minutes? Okay, that's a different question. But anything that has this playful creative part to it. And do that for 10 minutes, set yourself a timer and stop at the end of 10 minutes. No requirement to stop. Many times I went over when I could. But even if you stop after 10 minutes and you go, oh no, I wanted to do more, you know you can do more tomorrow. And the beauty of that is that it connects me back to myself. It connects me back to that inner well of creative action and of actionability, of agency. And that is the version of me that can show up in the world, and that can interact with these things that are happening around me, that I'm witnessing, that I'm seeing, that might be overwhelming me. But when I'm connected to myself, I connect from that place, from my true essence. And I wouldn't suggest to make it about the results, but more about the process. And I suggest to watch out for what the results in your life might be. And if you feel so, let us know. Get in touch and comment and see what happens for you. So if you want more of this, come and join the Hendricks community on Mighty Networks or wherever you're watching this video. And especially let us know how this practice of 10 minutes of creativity every day works for you. Thank you for being with me today, and looking forward to being on the How-Tos again with you soon.